One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to the humble. I hope everything's going well with you. I hope all is well. But we got to get right into it. And the question that I have is, why are black people so angry? Why are black people so angry? And I know that's a question that a lot of people have, and they see it every day, and they just don't understand it. They just can't understand it. And I get it, I get it. You look around, you say, man, I don't even understand what's going on here. Why does everything that go on, it seems like it makes black people angry? But you got to realize what's going on here. And for those of you who know, you know, and those who don't know, I'm going to explain it. Because I think it should be talked about and explained. And maybe it can change the minds of some people who get angry all the time to understand what's going on with them. A lot of them don't even understand it themselves. It's just a reaction. It's programming, it's brainwashing. That's what it really boils down to. It really boils down to programming and brainwashing. I got cars in the background because it's a street right over this fence, and cars go up and down. I had somebody say something about that one time. Well, a couple of times actually. But anyway, the question is, why get so angry? Why do black people get so angry all the time about every situation? But you got to think, this starts off as a child, right? It starts off as a child, and it's like the parents and everybody is teaching this mindset over and over and over again to every generation after every generation. And it keeps it going. And then the cycle can't be broken because it's being taught every generation. For example, when there's a shortcoming, when a person has a shortcoming, they're not told that, look, they're not told that the reason why they have that shortcoming is because of themselves. It's not anyone else. It's not anyone else. But when you're convinced that it's not your fault, it's somebody else's fault, then that's going to start the very beginning of this problem right there. And then you look at slavery, and you look at the things that went on in slavery, and they're going to say, well, see, you went through slavery. So since you went through slavery, that's the reason why we're in the condition we're in right now. That's why we live in this condition, is because of slavery, because we was held back and we wasn't given the opportunity like everybody else was. So they had a head start on us. That's why we here to where we at today. But if you really look at the real numbers, most white people do not have that much more money than black people. They don't. I mean, it's about the same. So to say they had a head start, which that ain't true, but to say that, it only creates a situation of blame. Like, well, these people held me back, so that's why I don't have this right here today, when that ain't the case. The reason why black people don't have something is because they have not put forth the effort to get it. But you can't tell them that, because if now don't get me wrong, there are conditions that you can be in that make it hard, but you're not in that condition because somebody held you down or somebody stopped you. But that's the way it's presented, right? So if you look at the low income neighborhoods, most of those areas are predominantly single parent homes. And how do you become a single parent? I don't gotta answer that question. You know how you become a single parent. Well, that's the beginning of the problem right there. Less marriages, you're naturally gonna have less money when you're not married. When you have two people who is married, they usually both people are gonna be working, and you have two incomes. And you have two incomes coming in. And when you have two incomes coming in, you're naturally gonna have more money. But if you got one income coming in, you're gonna need some assistance, right? And then when you gotta get assistance, you can't make but a certain amount of money to get assistance, which causes a problem. But now when you start that cycle, what's gonna happen is that's what you already gonna blame it on slavery is the reason why you are where you are. So then you be angry about your condition because somebody put you here. You didn't. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't your parents' fault. It wasn't your fault. Somebody else put us here. They put us in this situation when they really didn't. Because all you had to do was get out of the situation by first being married and having 2 incomes and doing things together and sacrificing to get to where you want to get to. That's how you overcome these situations. But see, you notice the black people that's doing kind of good, they're not complaining about it. They're not the ones who saying they're being held back. It's only those without, or only those who run into a situation that it was their fault, but they're blaming it on something else. Like, for example, you fill out an application to go get a job, and you can't get the job. They don't hire you. The first thing you come out your mouth is, oh, they racist. That's why they didn't hire me, because they racist. No, they didn't hire you because they just probably didn't hire you, for one. For two, you probably wasn't qualified for the job. I mean, it's all sorts of reasons. But the main reason is going to be racism. Everything is about race, being about racism. That's what's going to keep you angry when you're thinking that it's because of my skin color is why this is happening to me. That makes you upset because you feel like you're not getting a fair shot. That's why black people get mad about being denied. Anytime they're denied, anytime black people are denied of something, it's going to be racism is the reason. And that's going to and you keep doing that over and over again, which the culture of black people is always told that white people are racist. So they're going to stay angry all the time whenever something don't go their way. They can't just look at it and say, oh, it didn't happen for me yet, or I'm not qualified, or I don't meet the qualifications. When that's probably all it is. But you go right to racism right off the bat. That's what black people are going to do. And the anger is just a continuous thing over and over again because of these situations. You can't seem to get over this hump because somebody's holding you back, and that creates anger. But if you wasn't told that somebody was holding you back, and you was told that the reason why you didn't get it was because of your own self, then you wouldn't have nobody to be angry at but yourself. But see, black people get angry at everybody but themselves when they're really the only ones who can get themselves where they want to be. There's other black people who seem to find a way to get to where they want to go, but there's certain people that just can't seem to find it. They're always going to blame it on racism. And you're supposed to give me this because you owe me this because of slavery is the reason why I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Slavery is the reason why I can't have this nice house, these nice cars, and all this nice stuff. It's because of slavery. And that keeps you angry. When nobody today had anything to do with slavery. And most people that, I don't see where they're benefiting from it. People say something like, oh, they benefiting, that's why they got generational wealth. Most of them don't have no generational wealth. And if they do, they sacrifice something somewhere to put money away to get it. That's just the facts. See, black humanity would have some generational wealth too had it not been for civil rights. I'm not going to go down that path. I'm going to stick right here. Another reason why black people are so angry is because the black race hustlers are keeping them angry. They keep telling them to hate. They keep telling them to be mad. They keep telling them to be angry at this situation. Man, they out here tonight. They out here tonight. Everybody's out tonight. But they keep you mad. The race hustlers keep black people angry and keep black people fighting and keep them upset. You know, that's why I was thinking. I was like, man, why do they keep this going? But they keep doing it to black people. The other black people keep keeping black people mad. It's other black people that got black people angry. They used to call themselves the savior for black people. These people ain't got no more. The people that's doing this, they don't have nothing. They have nothing. The only reason why they're able to have what they have because they are getting money from the black community. They just pimping the black community. But the black people that's following that can't see it. They're the ones who are not being able to get what they want. So people like this come into play and keep them hating and keep them angry. Because whoever can keep you angry can control you. And they do a good job of coming out. They wear all that garbs. They do all of that kind of stuff, and they just keep leading the black people into further into destruction. And most black people can't see it. The ones who can see it, they seem to be able to break away from it and go off and be successful. And the ones who keep listening to them black race hustlers, they never come out of it. They stay in that cycle of anger and blaming on white people why they haven't succeeded, or why they haven't got to where they want to get to. Well, they're never going to get there. But they're never going to get there because they're going to keep listening to these people that's going to keep them in this cycle of hatred. Them people don't care, because they would tell you to stop hating and start showing some love so you can start reap some benefits of living in this country that it has so many options. No matter where you start off at, you don't have to stay there. You can always come out of the situation. But anger is going to keep you there. And you're letting these black people, so-called leaders, lead you down the road of destruction. That's why black people stay angry. You can't blame it on white people. White people are not doing it. It's your own black people that's keeping you angry and keeping you at the bottom. They're taking from those who don't even have anything to give, but they take what little bit they do have for their own benefit, and then they keep the black people angry. Every time a situation come up, they find a way to blame it on something about white people. White people ain't got nothing to do with the situation, but they'll find a way to make it that way. And the people we're supporting, and we're getting mad about some of these people who have been these so-called unarmed black men who's been unalived by the police. And these people are not like stand-up people in the first place. But those black race hustlers got you supporting that. They got you believing that somehow these people should not have been, what happened to them should not have happened. But most of them brought it on themselves. It wasn't just like they just walked up to the car and boom, it's over. Most of them bring it on themselves by fighting back, not listening, creating havoc. When all they gotta do is just follow the instructions. But see, them people been brainwashed because the black race hustlers, you don't ever see them getting into it with the police, do you? You don't ever see them fighting with the cops, do you? But they tell you to do it. Have you ever seen one of them get arrested and fight the cop? You don't see that. Why they not getting into it with the police? They don't never seem to be in any kind of trouble. But they tell you to go out here and act a fool and be angry and be mad and cause destruction. That's what they tell you to do. And then you find yourself shot and hoping that they do a vigil and they march and they do all these things for you and put you on t-shirts because you was so angry that you couldn't listen to the instructions. You gotta yell and get mad and fuss because your black race hustler leader told you that that's what you should do. But you ain't think about your family. They think about theirs because they ain't out there with you. I'm telling you, this is why black people stay angry. It ain't gonna ever stop until these black race hustlers stop telling black people to be mad at something. Because black people don't think for themselves. Somebody gotta tell them how to think. And whoever telling them how to think, as long as they identify with them, they're gonna listen. And all they gotta do is quote somebody from the past, or wear some garb, or claim they're all these related to certain people, and you know the talk I'm talking about, man. You know how it is. You know how they talk. Very articulate, very persuasive, but don't have your best interest in mind. They keep you at the bottom. But that's the reason why black people stay upset, because the black race hustlers continue to keep them upset. It ain't white people doing it, it's black people doing it to other black people, as usual. That's typically what you're always gonna find. But anyway, that's the reason, man. Y'all take care, alright?